In January 1687, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb led his forces to besiege the Qutb Shahi dynasty at Golconda Fort and was home to the Kollur Mine. The ruler of Golconda was Abul Hasan Qutb Shah.Aurangzeb, and the Mughal army had successfully conquered two Muslim kingdoms, Nizams of Ahmednagar and the Adilshahis of Bijapur. It was only a matter of time that the Mughal army arrived at Golconda Fort. The siege of Golconda lasted 8 months, and on various occasions it had pushed the massive Mughal army to its limits. In fact, the Golconda Fort was probably the most impregnable fort in South Asia. Aurangzeb and the Mughals entered Golconda through a decisive victory, but through the secret treachery of Surandaz Khan, a military official in the army of the Qutb Shahi dynasty, who was bribed to open one gate and let the Mughals enter the fort. This battle was important for both sides because of the place being the only source of diamonds. The fort had good defenses, having spikes on the front gate to defend themselves for the Mughal elephants, and also having corners where the walls were cut like a diamond. Whenever a guard will spot the enemies, he will clap and the voice will echo so that everyone hears it. Command. After the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and the Mughal army had successfully conquered two Muslim kingdoms, Nizams of Ahmednagar and the Adilshahis of Bijapur, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb then assembled the most advanced Mughal army to date and began his siege on Golconda Fort. Aurangzeb had assigned Mir Jumla and his army of 10,000 to lead any future assault on Golconda Fort. Ghatsuddin Khan Siddiqui Feroz Jang S. Khwaja Siddiqui Khilaj Khan and father of Nizam of Hyderabad Kamaruddin Khan Siddiqui was assigned to bombard the walls of the fort using almost 100 cannons, including the very powerful and massive Raban and Fatiraba. Another Mughal cannon is said to be the most impressive. It is known as the Aztaha. It had the ability to shoot cannonballs weighing over 35 kilograms. This particular bronze cannon was cast in the year 1647. The Mughal Admiral Munawar Khan was assigned to deliver food and weapon supplies to the besieging Mughal army. The General Dilir Khan was assigned to command the matchlock sepoys that tried to penetrate the defences of Golconda Fort, while Shaista Khan, Murshid Qulai Khan and Ibrahim Khan commanded the rest of the army and its reserves around Golconda Fort and throughout all the Qutb Shahi territory. The ruler of Golconda Fort, Abul Hasan Qutb Shah, had strong walls reinforced with granite and a very powerful mortar called the Pataburj siege. As the Qutb Shahi ruler of Golconda, Abul Hasan Qutb Shah refused to surrender to the Mughals. He and his servicemen fortified themselves at Golconda Fort and fiercely protected the Kollur Mine, which was then the world's only diamond mine at the time. His most experienced Golconda commander Mukarrab Khan defected to the Mughals. The Qutb Shahis had constructed massive fortifications throughout successive generations on a granite hill over 400 feet high with an enormous 8-mile wall enclosing the city. The main gates of Golconda had the ability to repulse any war elephant attack, as they had iron spikes on the gates to damage the advancing Mughal elephants. In January 1687, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb led his Grand Mughal army against the Deccan Qutb Shahi ruler taking refuge in Golconda Fort. Aurangzeb had surrounded Golconda Fort and alongside about 100 cannons began siege operations. In order to breach the granite walls of Golconda Fort, Feroz Jang was appointed to utilize the massive Raban, at Iraba, and the most impressive cannon during the siege, known as the It had the ability to shoot cannonballs weighing over 50 kilograms. In response to the Mughal bombardment, Abul Hasan Qutb Shah fired from his powerful high-vicinity mortar called the Pataburj, and according to Sakim Ustad Khan, bamboo rockets were also utilized day and night against Mughal encampments. Meanwhile, due to heavy rains, the Manhara River overflooded and the scarcity of food supplies became a dire complication. This led to the death of many animals and caused malnourished troops to get ill. Fearing a possible counterattack organized from the fort, Aurangzeb ordered the construction of a fortified position made of wood and mud, which would house and organize Mughal attacking parties. The intense cannon fire from Golconda Fort against the approaching Mughals eventually caused the death of the experienced Mughal commander Qutb Khan Khwaja-Ibad Siddiqui, and furthermore Aurangzeb was grieved by the death of his long-term commander Ghatsuddin Khan Siddiqui Bahadur Firoz Jang, who died of natural causes. Although the Qutb Shahis maintained impregnable efforts defending the walls, at night the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and his infantry have assembled and erected complex scaffolding that allowed them to scale the high walls. Aurangzeb also ordered his men to throw huqa while scaling the fortified wall and were reinforced by matchlocks and composite bows. Unfortunately, most of these attacks remained largely unsuccessful but managed to demoralize the defenders of Golconda Fort. During the 8-month siege, the Mughals faced many hardships like small-scale famines for weeks at a time. But whenever the Mughal Admiral Munawar Khan arrived with supplies and weapons with his river fleet, Aurangzeb would intensify the siege. Although the Qutb Shahis maintained impregnable efforts defending the walls, the siege had become unbearable for the officials in service of the Qutb Shahis, and finally Surandaz Khan revealed a back door that led directly to Golconda Fort. Immediately after the Mughals stormed the fort, Surandaz Khan opened the gates that allows the Aurangzeb's army to enter. The Mughal army led by Ghazi-ud-Din Khan Feroz Jung, the son of the fallen Qutb Khan Khwaja-Ibad Siddiqui, was among the first to enter the gates. He immediately charged towards the citadel of Abul Hasan Qutb Shah, eventually taking him prisoner by surprise. Feroz Jang and his forces occupied Kollur Mine and the Mughal reserves, disarmed the defenders of the fort and paved the way for the entry of victorious Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Golconda Fort was later repaired and armed with superior cannons. Shaista Khan is known to have spared the Qutb Shahi serviceman, the ruler of Golconda, Abul Hasan Qutb Shah, however, was imprisoned in Daulatabad Fort by the orders of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Aftermath: the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb and his army managed to penetrate the walls by capturing a gate, prompting the Qutb Shahis of Golconda and the ruler, Abul Hasan Qutb Shah, to surrender peacefully and hand over the Annual Diamond, Great Stone Diamond, Kara Diamond, Darya-e-Annuar, the Hope Diamond, the Wittelsbach Diamond and the Regent Diamond, making the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb the richest monarch in the world.